We're going to talk about Candida and yeast overgrowth in the gut in today's episode. Hey folks, it's Melissa here with Natural Health Resources, and today I'm answering one of our viewer subscriber questions. So I've got her question here. I'm going to read off just the small little bit of questions that she has. So she says, my questions are many, but why is my Candida so bad and so prolonged? Is it just because I've never had well water and it's all I drink? Could the chlorine be killing off good bacteria in my gut? Could this be allergy related, as I am in a heavily wooded, swampy area and deal with mold, yeast, dust allergies? Or is this autoimmune stress related? I miss my donuts and pizza, wink wink. But I just really wanted to see if you could help in any way possible. So this is from Brenna. Brenna, I want to answer your question today in this video. All right, folks, so we're going to talk about in this video yeast and mold, and it's something that is really frustrating for folks that deal with yeast or Candida. That's really the kind of technical medical term that is often utilized for Candida in the body, and it can be very troubling to get rid of because of its incorporation into our bloodstream, and that incorporates all systems of our body, from our soft tissue, our muscles, and our organs, and everything in between, as well as the lymphatic system. And as many of you know, I'm a lymphatic drainage therapist, and mold and really any type of allergy can cause lymphatic congestion, which can further exacerbate the immune system's response to mold. So Brenna, I wanted to answer some of your questions. The first question I want to tackle is, could the chlorine be killing off the good bacteria in my gut? Not necessarily per se is the chlorine the source. Usually for folks that have gut imbalances, it's been something that may be long-term. And when we're talking long-term, it's the longevity of your life. So when I work with my clients, the first question I want to find out is, what was your birth like? Were you a vaginal birth or cesarean birth? That sets up the baby's bacterial levels in the body. The second thing that I ask is, did you have any antibiotics early in your baby life or early childhood, toddler life? So any type of ear infections, sinus, strep throat, any of the things that would ordinarily be scripted antibiotics. That is a really major factor, and that can be often the thing that we look at as being the source of that gut imbalance. But overall, our gut is really the key factor for our immunity, and it's another element or a line of protection from inflammatory related issues and allergies, food allergies, sensitivities to our environment. All of that can be looked at our gut, and we have science behind the gut's role in minimizing our exposure to allergen sources because it protects our body. So I would say chlorine might be a factor in the water in terms of just creating some mineral imbalances, but it's definitely not going to be a contributor to the bacteria levels in your body. The second question you had was whether or not it had something to do with your environment. So living in a wooded, swampy area, definitely. There can be mold spores that are airborne that we can't even see. So one of the things that I recommend for folks to do is to do a Candida cleanse, a yeast cleanse. And that there are different degrees of yeast cleanses, but it's kind of starting off small is really good. You can buy the little 10, 30-day packs at your local natural stores. I have some information about some products I like down below. But one of the really great things you can do is actually do a live blood analysis. It's really cool. They do a little pinprick. They slide your live blood between two glass slides, and they keep it. And so in that capacity, your blood is not dried, it's actually live. They put it under a microscope, and you can actually see on a big screen, if you're in an office with a live blood cell analyst, it's usually a phlebotomist or somebody has credentialing to do this, but you can actually see the yeast or fungus roaming through our blood. You'll see your red blood cells, you'll see white blood cells, That is really crazy cool, but it tells you to the degree of yeast and Candida in the body. So I would say environment for most of us, huge factor. Then also, could the autoimmune or stress be a factor for yeast? Absolutely. Stress is not yeast. It is not yeast limiting, it's actually yeast contributing. Stress enhances the cortisol level, it enhances the inflammatory response, stress enhances the inflammatory response in the gut, it minimizes and weakens our immune system and the ability for our body to fight off yeast. So stress can definitely be a factor, as can be physiological stress, like stress from an autoimmune disorder or disorders. And then as far as missing donuts and pizza, I'm sorry. They are yeast contributors, and unless you're really kind of looking at going gluten-free and doing alternative type of donuts and staying away from pizza crust and maybe going like cauliflower crust and staying away from cheese, those yummy kind of comforty foods can definitely contribute to the yeast factor in the body. And so as far as helping, yeast is something that it's just not one kind of single source. It's a full scope of looking at you and your environment individually. But definitely, if you want to kind of get started, is to look at a Candida yeast related cleanse. So that traditionally looks at an elimination type of diet for a period of time. You're going to eliminate sugar. You're going to eliminate usually those carbs, the dense carbohydrates, the yeasty type of foods, breads, pastas, anything that has to rise, we get rid of that. And then you will eliminate alcohol and sodas. Those are two big contributors, especially alcohol. Alcohol is fermented, and the way it is broken down in the system, it actually feeds the yeast. Sugar feeds yeast. And then you look at adding two things into your diet: prebiotics, like artichokes and garlic and onions and inulin fiber. Those are the food for the healthy gut bacteria, and the gut bacteria that we want to introduce are called probiotics. So that's a good start for anybody. I actually plan on having a much more thorough program coming up. So stay tuned to our video and our channel stream here. I hope you'll subscribe to my videos for more helpful information. And Brenna, I'm so grateful for your email and hope that helped at least answer your initial question. Stay tuned for more great health tips here. Check out our monthly newsletter for great actionable health tips and lifestyle hacks that you cannot live without. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.